Oh, buenos nachos. Good morning. Good nachos. So we got coffee, we got playing dog, we got dog on guard duty looking out for the fox that had the audacity to come up near our front porch. And then we have little Miss Dementia who has no idea where she is and walks in circles and pees and poops wherever the mood strikes her. And today I'm going to put the edges on 3 blades, and that plastic bag there beside him is bandsaw blades for my portaband. And I found a piece of wood online that I'm gonna have to show you this in my shop and spray it with water to show you how beautiful that piece of desert ironwood is. So I'm gonna drink this coffee and then we'll get to the shop. And I got to get these things sharpened before it gets hot in that part of my shop, because it does not cool down in there overnight. And when I go in there, it is, if it was 100 degrees yesterday, it was 100 degrees in the shop. I'm talking about the part that's not air conditioned, where my buffers and now the knife sharpener is. So alrighty, let me drink my coffee. We'll see you at the shop. Alrighty then, are you ready for this? Is that not beautiful? Beautiful. That is desert ironwood, and it cost me a lot of money. And I cannot decide what I want to do with it. I have this dinner skidder that I've made out of the 3/16, the thicker stuff. The bevels come out perfect, so it would be a good knife to put this on. I can put it on a sharp finger. I haven't decided. It's not quite big enough for... actually, I could put a BC Special on. Hold on one second. Let me grab it. Yeah, just barely make a BC Special out of it. Yeah, I would have a little bit of hang over here, but I can, tiny bit, but I can alter this ever so slightly to make that work. Yeah. So I could put it on a BC Special, and I am working on one, and it's not spoken for. So I don't know yet. I'll keep thinking about it. I'm not in a hurry to do anything with it. All right. I started on this. This is sold. This is that sharp finger that's sold. And I'm putting the edge on it. Of course, I got greasy fingerprints and everything all over it, so it doesn't have the shine it had, but it'll clean up again as soon as I'm done with the edge. It's getting there. And what I have is a super fine diamond polisher. I'm kind of afraid to go any more with it on my high-speed sharpening machine. I'm not 100% comfortable with that machine yet. I got a real good edge started, but it's not razor sharp like I like to make them. And I'm just afraid to go any further on that machine, because you can burn the edge, it's 3,600 RPMs, and you can ruin a knife real quick on it, destroy the temper. So I got it so close that I'm going to take my super fine diamond hone and finish the edge off right here. And I'll get better at that, but it's just going to be slow, and I'm going to take my time and get used to it, because by the time I get a knife to this level, I have invested tons and tons of not just time, but money also. You know, nothing's cheap here. Like this. This was $60 for that piece of wood. And you see why I had to have it. And that's the thing about this highly figured desert ironwood. You got to constantly check the website. And the second you see something you like, you got to grab it right then and there, no thinking about it, because while you're looking at it, thinking about it, 20 other people are looking at it, thinking about it, and somebody's going to press that buy button. So, you know, you got to, if you see something like this, you got to grab it, or decide quickly not to. And I guarantee you, within a few minutes of you looking at it, it'll be sold. You know, something like this, because this kind of figure, desert ironwood, is a beautiful wood, and I've got a lot of desert ironwood. I'll show you I will. And you know, it's nice. This is all desert ironwood. I've even got a huge block of it up here, and it's pretty wood, but it's not that beautiful wood. And this is all desert ironwood is expensive because it's a tree that only grows in a very specific region of our country and a little bit of Mexico on the Baja Peninsula. And it's a very, very small tree. 8 inches is a big tree for a desert ironwood tree. And they have laws in our country that prevent you from over harvesting, and so it's one of the most desirable woods. And on the Janka, Janka, on the Janka wood hardness scale, it's like number 7 in the world as far as hardness for the wood. I don't know what the rest of them are, but you know, there's thousands and thousands of species of woods, and for this to rank number 7 out of the thousands of wood for hardness, that's something. So anyway, there, I just explained to you a little bit more about desert ironwood, and why when you see something like this you just have to grab it, and why they're so expensive. You know, sometimes it's really hard to say goodbye to a knife, and this is one of them. Boy, that sure come out nice. And I wish I knew what kind of wood that is, but I buy so much, and some of the wood I buy from Oleg comes right from Russia, and sometimes he has it in other countries and it can be sent quicker. And I think he has some here in the United States too. So depending on what you pick on his website, it might come right from Russia, which takes a very long time, very long, you know, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Sometimes just 10 days, you know, you just never know. Just like the knife I sent to Luxembourg, what a bizarre route it took from here, where I live in Texas, over to Miami, up to Jamaica, New York, over into Canada, and from there I haven't looked since then, but on the 18th of August it had not left Canada yet, so who knows. I mean, there's no explanation that the common man who's not involved in that shipping internationally would have an answer to. And who knows, they may not even have an answer. It may just be mass chaos like everything else that's huge, sort of like the post office. You just have to wonder sometimes how a package manages to get from point A to point B as screwed up as a post office is. But anyway, I got the edge on it. I'm fixing to put it in its leather pants here, and tomorrow I will ship it. But I enjoyed making that, and yeah, I'm gonna miss it. Okay, let me get it packed up. I'm fixing to the red knife. That's next. And the person that bought this also bought that Cato, so I'm going to sharpen both of these, and then I'm just gonna, for the rest of the day, piddle. My back is back to hurting. I don't want to get to working too hard out here. I'm going to sand on that BC Special, and yesterday I intended to get all the grind lines sanded out, and I didn't get that far. I just Didn't have it in me, so I'm gonna piddle, you know, just work a little bit today. It's Sunday, so all right, I've talked enough. Let me get a little more work done. I'll get these two sharpened, and if I have anything monumental to tell you, I will. So that is the secret. I'll tell you, every time I get a new tool and experiment or try a new style, or I eventually figure out, just like polishing synthetic, that red and white handled synthetic, I have finally come across the secret sauce to polishing that, and that is to sand that synthetic wet up to 1500, and I'm talking about the last three grits, 1000, 1200, and 1500. Sanding it wet, the last three grits, and then buffing it on a soft wheel with white compound and a very light touch. So I finally figured out the secret to that, and it took me lots and lots of synthetic handles to tweak and fine-tune. I hate to say my technique, because I don't want to sound like a scientist, but I've just experimented with different methods and what works and what doesn't work and what works better. And if you combine with what works better here with what worked better there, and then, you know what I'm saying, just experimenting, and you take what works best from all the different ways you've tried this, and you come up with a handle that is shinier than you've ever got it. And like this is Dymalux, and I have finally figured out how to get this Dymalux to shine like new money. And this is sold. I just put the edge on it. Now what I'm getting at is this is my electric sharpener, and this is my third of mine. Now I've sharpened a whole bunch of kitchen knives, and I got the hang of it. You know, I've got the idea down, and how to hold it, and the speed to drag it across the wheel, and the pressure to push it against the wheel. I mean, it's all things you got to figure out. You got to take the speed of the wheel into account. You got to take how much compound you're putting on the wheel into account. There's so many things you got to remember and take into consideration as you're sharpening a knife. So I got my practice out of the way, basically, you know. And this is the third knife I've sharpened, and this is the one that I did all the way on the buffer. I didn't have to come in here and touch it up, although I did strop it. And that is the secret, to bring it up to a razor edge on the electric sharpener, and then come in here and strop it, and you are left with scary sharp shaven edge. Okay, I'm over the hump with that, and I got to go in and cover it up. I have a big towel that I'm keeping it covered with, so the dust and crap from all the other stuff I do in there doesn't get on that. And I need to buy like a gooseneck light that hangs down, and I'll get one. I'll find one on Amazon somewhere. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna get this cleaned up and get it in the sheath, and I got three knives ready to go. These two are going to a fellow locally here, and the sharp finger is going to Northern California. Okay, let me drink my Coke and get to work on that BC special. Well, you know, I thought I could get more done out here, but this was some kind of work right here. The thing is, I had some pits in this, so I had to put it on my 6x48 with my magnet holding it flat, you know, so I ground through the pits, and that is a 60 grit belt, so I had to sand off 60 grit with 150, and that took a whole lot of doing, but it's done. And this is at 150, that's at 150, and I'm taking these home because overnight both these rusted overnight, and I don't want to have to re-sand them. And so the next grit is 180, which is the grit I usually start at, but I had to do that on the 6x48 to both of these, so both of these took an extreme amount of effort and sanding. That's 2 Cokes worth of sanding to get the 60 grit grind lines, sanding lines out of there. Okay, so that's it for me. You ready to go home? It's a short day for us. It's about lunchtime. Let's go get us a milk bone. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my scalp, warm smell of burritos rising up in the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a Taco Bell sign. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to get me a bite. Chuck Norris did a movie with a lion on the set. And during a break, he asked the trainer if he could pet the lion. And the trainer said, sure. So Chuck Norris goes over to the lion and leans over and starts petting the lion. And the lion growls. And the trainer says, stop what you're doing. Get up slowly and back away. And fortunately, the lion was well trained and did exactly that, and no one was hurt.